Twin brothers who lived the same life. Two twin brothers from Ohio were separated at birth and adopted by different families. They didn't know each other but ended up living almost the same lives. Both were named James, both worked as policemen, both married women named Linda, then divorced and married women named Betty. Even their sons had the same name, James Allen. When they finally met in 1979, they were shocked by how similar their lives had been. Scientists later said it was one of the most amazing examples of how genetics can shape people's choices. It's almost as if fate had written the same story twice. The reincarnation of Enzo Ferrari. Car legend Enzo Ferrari died in 1988. Just 2 months later, footballer Mesut Ozil was born. Years later, people noticed that the two men looked almost identical, same eyes, face, and even similar expressions. Both were known for their focus and perfection. Some people started believing that Ozil was Ferrari's soul reborn. Of course, it could just be coincidence, but the resemblance was so strong that many still wonder if there's something mysterious about how lives connect across time. The unsinkable Violet Jessop. Violet Jessop was a ship stewardess who survived not one but 3 major ship disasters. She was on the Olympic when it crashed, on the Titanic when it sank, and later on the Britannic, which also went down. Each time, she made it out alive. Because of that, she was called Miss Unsinkable. The chance of surviving 1 shipwreck is already small, but surviving 3? Almost impossible. Violet continued to work at sea, proving that sometimes courage and pure luck can keep a person alive against all odds. Twin deaths in Finland. In 2002, 2 70-year-old twin brothers in Finland died just 2 hours apart. Both were riding their bikes, both were hit by trucks, and both died on the same road, just a few miles apart. Police said it was pure coincidence, as the first twin's death hadn't even been reported yet when the second one happened. Even officers were shocked. 2 brothers born together, living apart, and dying in the exact same way. It's one of the strangest real-life coincidences ever recorded. Baby saved twice by the same man. In the 1930s, a man named Joseph Figlock was walking on a street in Detroit when a baby fell from a 4th-floor window, right onto him. Both survived. A year later, the same baby fell again from the same window, and again, Joseph was passing by and caught the child. The baby was saved twice by the same man. People couldn't believe it. It felt like destiny had chosen Joseph to protect that child not once, but twice in the most unbelievable way. The father and son who died building Hoveer Dam. During the building of the Hoveer Dam, the first man to die was J.G. Tierney, who drowned in the Colorado River in 1922. 13 years later, the last man to die during the project was his son, Patrick Tierney, also by drowning in the same river. Out of almost 100 workers who died on the project, the fact that both the first and last deaths were from the same family felt eerie. It's as if fate had tied the father and son together in history forever. The man who saw the start and end of the Civil War. The American Civil War started in 1861 right next to Wilmer McLean's house in Virginia. Wanting peace, he moved far away. But 4 years later, in 1865, the war ended in his new home, when the generals met there to sign the peace papers. He later said, "The war began in my front yard and ended in my parlor." It's almost impossible that one man could be at both the beginning and end of one of history's biggest wars. Yet that's exactly what happened. Edgar Allan Poe's strange prediction. In 1838, author Edgar Allan Poe wrote a book about shipwrecked sailors who, to survive, ate a cabin boy named Richard Parker. 40 years later, a real ship sank, and the sailors who survived ate a cabin boy, whose real name was also Richard Parker. People couldn't believe the similarity. It seemed like Poe had somehow predicted a real tragedy that hadn't even happened yet. Was it a coincidence or something more mysterious? No one knows, but it's one of the strangest connections between fiction and real life. The man who survived 2 atomic bombs. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, when the first atomic bomb exploded. He survived, badly burned, and went home to Nagasaki, just in time for the second bomb on August 9. Incredibly, he survived again. He was later recognized as the only person officially confirmed to have lived through both bombings. He lived to age 93 and spent his life promoting peace. The chance of surviving 1 atomic bomb is tiny, surviving 2 is almost beyond belief. Mark Twain and Hally's comet. Famous writer Mark Twain was born in 1835, the same year Halley's comet passed Earth. He once said, "I came in with the comet and I expect to go out with it." In 1910, when the comet returned, Mark Twain died on the very same day. His words came true exactly as he said. Astronomers later confirmed the timing matched perfectly. Twain's life and death became one of the most amazing examples of a coincidence that feels written by the stars themselves. The brothers on the Titanic. In 1912, two brothers, Arthur and Alfred, boarded the Titanic separately. They didn't even know the other was on board. When the ship sank, both were listed missing. Later, rescuers found Arthur's body with a letter in his pocket. It was written to Alfred. His brother was never found. Two brothers, unaware they were on the same doomed ship, brought together by fate in the most tragic way possible. The Hoveer twins. In 1975, a man named Mr. Hoveer was riding a moped in Bermuda when a taxi hit and killed him. 1 year later, his brother, also named Mr. Hoveer, was killed the exact same way, on the same street, riding the same type of moped, hit by the same taxi driver carrying the same passenger. Police confirmed it really happened. Two brothers, 1 year apart, dying in the same bizarre way. It's one of the strangest real coincidences ever known. This our today video, hope you enjoy it and subscribe our channel.